The summer before I turned 10, there was only one thing I wanted: a cherry red Mongoose freestyle BMX bike with red and black knobby tires. And this was the most crucial part. It needed to have a black and white checkerboard padded cover for the handlebars. I spent that summer, like I spent every summer, attending my town's free summer rec program, which meant I played a lot of knock hockey and made a lot of lanyards. And that summer, it seemed every kid was rolling up on a BMX bike. And I would just watch them. They'd be in the infield building ramps and practicing papa wheelies. And it seemed by the virtue of just having this bike, they had everything I wanted in life. They had fun, they had community, and they had an identity. They were BMX kids. And I was just the weird, skinny kid with the big hair. I didn't think I was gonna get this bike. My parents were divorced, and this was a typical divorced kid's dilemma. Do I ask my mom for it? Do I ask my dad? It was easier just to not ask. But then one night, my dad came to take my little sister and I out to dinner, as he did every Wednesday. And as he dropped us off, he said, "Oh, Stacy, I'm bringing you a bike next week." And my heart leapt with joy. But then he said, "I'm getting it from work." And my heart sank because my dad worked in a shoe store. And it was a very nice shoe store, but it was the kind of place where like ladies would come by, black alligator pumps that matched their handbags. And I had never seen anything resembling a BMX bike in this store. So I nervously awaited my dad's visit the next Wednesday, and he pulls up and he opens the trunk and he takes out this bicycle. And it is purple, this delicate shade of lilac. And the tires are white. They are gleaming white, but that isn't what concerned me about the tires. The front tire was really big. It was like the size of me. But then the back tire was like the size of a personal pan pizza. I would later learn that this old-timey style of bicycle is called a penny farthing, which I think is just a fancy term that means not a BMX bike. And then the icing on the cake was, I really wanted a Mongoose bike. That was a brand that brought a kid a lot of cred in 1980 suburban New Jersey. But this bike said in like jaunty yellow script, Ferragamo, which was the name of the Italian shoe company that had designed the bike to be used as a prop in the windows of my dad's store. Yeah, I know, just picture it with like crocodile loafers hanging off of it. So my dad was really excited and he was like, "Come on, get on." And so I got on and he put one hand on my back and one hand on the bike and he started running and I started pedaling. And I was terrified, not that he would let go or that I would fall, but that one of the BMX kids would come by and see me. And so I said, "Dad, I have to go to the bathroom." And we went and I put the bike in my mom's garage in a corner behind the piece of plywood and we went to dinner. And then next week he came for dinner and he said, "Do you want to try the bike?" And I said, "I'm really hungry, Dad. Can we just go for dinner?" And so on and so on. And eventually my dad got remarried and he had 2 more daughters and he moved away and we both forgot that bike. Flash forward 10 years, I'm in college and I have a new bike. It's a shiny blue road bike that I've bought myself. And I finally have everything I thought a bike would bring me. I'm having fun, I'm having community, and I have an identity. Because with 12 friends, we are riding our bicycles from Seattle back to New Jersey. And one night we're around the campfire in Wyoming and the subject of our first bikes come up and everyone's talking about their Huffies and their big wheels. And I just blurt out, "My first bike was a purple penny farthing." And there's crickets, like literally. And then somebody says, "That's so cool." And everyone's like, "Yeah, I want to see that bike." So when we get back home, I go to my mom's house, and sure enough, behind the plywood, there is my purple penny farthing. So I bring it down to campus, and I rode it to my classes the next day. And everywhere I go, people are like, oh my God, that bike is so cool. And I'm just like, I know. And the thing is, it really was. Like those Italians, even the Italian shoemakers, they make fantastic bicycles. And it was smooth. And I loved seeing the expression on people's face when they saw that little back wheel. And that night, I had trouble sleeping. It occurred to me, I never thanked my dad for that bike. You know, he didn't give me what I wanted, but he gave me what I needed. He gave me something that nobody else in the world had. And the magnitude of that gift made me feel loved. The next morning, I couldn't wait to ride my bike. And I lived in this off-campus house, this big Victorian house with like 85 roommates. And I go down to the porch, and it's not there. Both the bicycle and the porch, the bike thieves had sawed off the railing to take it. And it never occurred to me that something I had been so reluctant to accept, that somebody else would want it so badly. And I never saw that bike again. I had one day riding that bicycle. And so that bike represents something from my childhood that was taken from me. And on my deathbed, I will probably whisper Ferragamo because I wish I could have it back. Thank you.